If you'd like to have, have some more gaming experiences in your home, and you think that your teenage children might be a bit, might not be very receptive, and then you could use what I call deliberate stealth. Instead of saying, come on, everybody, let's play a board game in which they don't know. Remember, if you haven't played lots of games and you've only got games that aren't brilliant family gaming experiences, like we've talked about with Monopoly, for example, then people's expectations of what a game is going to be are not always exactly as you might want them to be. So think about, okay, how can I stealthily expose them to some great games without making a whole big thing of it? You might not want to clap your hands and say, let's play a lovely board game, everybody, because you might get not the best response. So there are a couple of ways that I do this, that I have done this or suggested that people do this. Get some board games that are quite pretty on the table, set them up and play them by yourself. Loads of board games now have a solo play mode, or play them with another adult or someone else in the house that you think is going to be most receptive. And they look beautiful on the table. And position yourself to be found by the children or by whoever you think is going to be the most reluctant to join in. Don't ask them to join in. Just, let them saunter over, ask what you're doing. This could be as simple as playing a game called, so there's a patience game, card game called Spaces. And it's probably my favourite patience game, solo card game. And it involves, you need a big table. You're going to put all 52 cards out on the table, face up, in 4 rows of 13. And just that itself takes so much, it has so much table presence. You cannot, just sitting there doing this, other people in the house, your kids will stop and ask. They will stop and sit with you. They'll, stand next to you and look. And and then they'll say, oh, well, you could do that. And you're hooking them in very gradually, very stealthily. Another thing you could do is deal out cards with dinner. They're going to sit there at the table anyway for dinner. They probably, if you've got teenagers, they might not want to talk to you. So actually, they might be quite happy to be given some cards or some dominoes or some dice or some kind of game that they can play while they're eating. And then that will extend dinner for a bit. It will keep you together for a bit longer. And you will game playing will start to become something that happens in your family. Of course, you can do the same thing in other environments as well.
Yeah, I love the idea of doing down some table presence.
Yeah.
It's just having it there. It does make such a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, and don't have your board games in a cupboard where nobody can see them. Have them on show. Have some of these puzzle games like Rush Hour or something on the coffee table. Have a game called like Zombie Dice on the kitchen counter. It takes 5 minutes to play. You can play it when you're waiting for the microwave even. Just have these things out and around the house. Have a sort of leaderboard on the back of the toilet door where, you've got a single player game and you're writing your personal times for that month or that week in that game. Just exposure, make it so that it's clear that you are a board game playing family and that's part of your brand.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that on our fridge. There is currently a leaderboard between me and my husband as to who's winning at Boggle.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you could do that in the workplace as well.
You could totally do that in the workplace. And you can totally have, just have some games out at lunchtime if you've got some space for it. Or start a meeting with something random. I mean, I know as a facilitator, some things I do, if we're going to do a who's going to go first with a presentation, if people pick a card and you do highest, lowest, like that's the starter of it's a gamification-y type thing, but it's really simple to do. I love it. It's really good.
And there are plenty of workplaces that have little mini board game libraries or board game clubs that happen at lunchtime.
Yeah,
it's a great way of doing it.